So when I first got to this base, my job was to see how clean the water was. I collected those samples from 2 tanks and then 1 from the kitchen. So for the 3 tanks, I collected a clean water sample, 1 of these seal bottles. I'll take 1 of these call alert packs. I'll punch it open, pour it into the water, put the lid back on and shake it. And then I set it inside the warmer. When I put the call alert in, it has to stay for 24 to 48 hours. And I'll see color change in about 24 hours, and I'll know whether or not the water is disinfected and has proper chlorine levels. What I want to see is clear. So I just put this in here. When I put the call alert in there, the water was clear. I want to see this color in 24 hours. With the first 3 tanks, within 12 hours from the first 3 samples, the water was orange, and that's a bad sign for us because these are organisms and bacteria that we're not used to having in our guts. So when I do my routine checks of the water, I just come out here and I grab a sample of the water from out of the stream. I usually check the pH and the free chlorine just to make sure that the water is being disinfected properly. What I've seen special in Kaedi is that we've actually sourced the water from the city water plant. And so that means that we have an open system. We're constantly getting water from them, so it has to constantly be chlorinated, like all the time. Which was a problem for me because I'm used to just scooping it out and dumping it in and then calling it a day. Here I had to be a little bit more creative, and I decided to develop a way to continuously chlorinate the water. This is the buoy I created. This buoy right here, it's made out of T-strings that we got off the local market. T-strings and some grocery bags that we get off the local market. I actually pack a calcium hypochlorite pack. I put it inside the strainer, and this usually lasts me the whole week, if not more. I put it inside the strainer, tie the strainer, close. We made this whole thing ourselves. Some zip ties, some 550 cord. I tie it shut. I place this buoy in front of the stream and I chlorinate the water for about 2 hours is what I've seen to get the levels back up. And then I come back and I move the buoy out of the stream. You know, I had to work with what I got. I had to work through it. We can go into the bathroom and I'll show you guys what the levels look like. This strip right here tests free chlorine and pH. I dip it in for 30 seconds and I get the reading. So the first reading is total chlorine. Total chlorine is at 4. But what we're really looking for is that residual, so the free chlorine, and that's at 1. It's right where it's like right in the middle, right where we want it to be. And then the pH is at about 6.8, which is pretty good. Turn the water off, down, and now I can go to the next point. I do like it when I'm working in the field and I get to be active, get to be creative. I really do like it. This is what the Air Force taught me to do. This is my job. This is how I keep the mission going. It's not something crazy for me. It's just me doing my job the right way. Now you can see the samples from after I chlorinated the water. So these samples are pretty recent. I went back and took another sample and I tested the water to make sure there was still free chlorine in there and to make sure that the pH level was right, and then we have clear, clean water.